Hello and welcome to the outskirts of the city of Antalya, where we have the first ever race at the Antalya Autodrome in Turkey for the 2026 Turkish Grand Prix. It's not the first time F1's come to Turkey. Of course, we came here 2 years ago at Istanbul Park for a great race won by Felipe Drugovich, and then it was 2020 and 2021. 2020, of course, the race that Hamilton won his 7th World Championship. 2021, I think, was won by Max Verstappen. I'm not too sure though. And yeah, of course, hosted also in 2005 to 2011. Yeah, brand new circuit over here today. Antalya Ring, built specifically for this race, just like last week in Finland for the Finnish Grand Prix in Helsinki. But yeah, we've got a great race in store for you today. But first, let's go through your grid. And at the back, the four that didn't set a lap in qualifying: Crawford, Lawson, Albon, and Bortoleto. Then it's the Cadillac of Vesti, Ocon in 17th. The other Cadillac of Joe Guan Yu, of course, replacing Drugovich this weekend, who can't retain his Turkish Grand Prix crown. Of course, in a Cadillac, that would be unlikely anyway. But yeah, of course, he is racing this weekend, or already has raced in Tokyo for the Formula E Tokyo E-Prix double night race, which were very good indeed. Then it's Porsche back after a week off. He was racing in Sao Paulo last week. Wait, no, he wasn't. Ignore me. That was 2 weeks ago. What am I on about? Then it's Hadjar, Sainz, Colapinto, David Malukas. He's replacing Zane Maloney. It's his first F1 start since that great race in Chicago that he won, albeit 4 cars finished. But yeah, who knows what will happen this time? Of course, last time was in his home city. This time, completely different situation for him. I mean, he is part Lithuanian, so kind of is close to home. But the American, who still doesn't want to race an IndyCar despite being a F1 winner, down in 11th place. And it's Behrman, Antonelli, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly. By the way, Colapinto, yeah, down in 12th. He won last week in Finland, so shocking qualifying from him. Antonelli was pole last week. Then it's Leclerc, Gasly, Sonoda, Norris, your championship leader by 2 points going into this. Actually, no. Yeah, hang on. I need to have a look. I need to have a look in a second. Verstappen 4th, though. Piastri 3rd. George Russell 2nd. And your pole sitter, a huge surprise, is Jack Doohan. And I mean, he has been flying recently, so I'm kind of not surprised. Anyway, championship standings. Where is Lando Norris? 141. So yeah, he is championship leader by for 4 points. That's it. There we go. And the formation lap is underway. Yeah, okay. It's already started. I'm going to need to fast forward it a little bit. And there we go. Okay, we are live. The feed didn't start for some reason. But, yeah. This will be an interesting one. We'll go on board with Jack Doohan for formation lap, just so you can see what this track is like. I know I've kind of missed the first sector. Normally go through track maps, the track facts. But with it being a new circuit, the only track facts you get is it's just over 5 kilometers or just over 3 miles, and it's a 63 lap race, which is 4 more than last week in Finland. Very similar circuits in terms of lap length, race length, but it is a much quicker lap time, much faster circuit. This one, you wouldn't really tell though. It's got quite a few quick corners that make up the circuit. You can overtake. It's got a few overtaking zones possible here. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. As the Aussies starting on pole for the first time, won last year in Snetterton for Alpine before deciding to go to Haas, and then Haas kind of went to rubbish. But yeah, very quick formation lap. They don't normally go this quick. I mean, it's more of a parade lap now than a formation lap. Has been for quite some time. And Russell was overtaken on the formation lap. Doesn't really matter, but yeah. Anyway, one more corner to go. Turn 16. That's another thing. 16 corners this track is. Another thing to mention. And that is really it. This is all a learning experience for everyone. Lap times are around a 1:23, 24-ish. Yeah, let's see how things go. Doohan will line up on pole, and the 5 lights will light up. You see at the top of your screen. Doohan from Russell. The 5 lights will light up. And it's lights out and away they go. I think Doohan's got the better launch, but Russell will get the much better second phase of the start, and he will probably lead. Going into turn 1, he's got the inside line, and no, Doohan goes deep, and Russell will lead. Verstappen's going to try something as well. Piastri 3 wide almost into turn 2. Verstappen goes a bit wide into the gravel, but he takes P2. Doohan, Gasly and Piastri, these two that came together, Gasly and Doohan, on the opening lap last week in Finland. And Doohan is absolutely dropping. I know he's third, never mind. Piastri in fifth, sorry. Or someone's front wing went off there. I think it was just a bit of end plate, maybe. Not too sure who it was. It's the top 2 race going up the hill through turn 8 and 9. Very tricky corner that is. As they fan up the hill down towards turn 10. Quite a tricky one this is. But here he is. Oh, and who's that wide? Piastri's a bit wide there. Piastri's wide through, I think that's 12. It is, or turn 11 actually was, then into turn 12. And turn 13, Doohan goes wide. Doohan's wide through turn 13. That'll invite Lando Norris, your championship leader, through, up into 3rd place. But as it stands, Verstappen closing in on him, the race leader. And he started 3rd, and Doohan wide again through turn 16. And always contact between him and Gasly, and Doohan's going to spin round almost. That's a great save from Doohan. A bit of contact with Piastri there. And Tsunoda's not got a front wing. That's huge for the championship. Tsunoda's not got a front wing. It's Verstappen and Russell. Tsunoda's teammate battles for the lead. He has to back off a little bit. And we'll get a replay of how that happened. But that is absolutely massive for this championship. With Norris in 3rd, it's between Verstappen and him, to do something really, and that's, I mean, it's the opening lap. We've seen time and time again people with issues ending up winning races. Just look at the British Grand Prix. Tsunoda had no rear wing, not even like a third of the way into the race, and still won it. As they go up the hill, Piastri is gonna try and make a move. No, he's not. Although he will eat. He'll try something through 10. It's not gonna work though. But through 11, as Gasly fires his way around the outside through turn 12, or 11, sorry. Been told that Sainz spun round at some point as well. Doohan's down right at the back. Was it Sainz? No, it was Jack Doohan. It's gone round again. And that's why he's down at the back. And from first to last. That is horrific luck. Can't believe it. And oh, what's going on? Nothing. Okay. Yes, watch battle for the lead then. Verstappen has actually backed off a little bit. But it's Lando Norris now who leads, with his teammate Oscar Piastri trying to fight his championship rival in Max Verstappen. I mean, to be fair, Norris has had a poor run of form recently. Crashed out at Brands Hatch, was 9th in, where was it? Finland last week after penalties. Verstappen in 4th as it stands. Piastri making it a McLaren 1-2. Malukas has got up to the points now, I think. Yeah, Malukas in 7th. If Verstappen goes round the outside and into 3rd place. Anything to try and make a move on Piastri. Oh, Verstappen's gone off! Verstappen's at the back of Piastri and he's spun round, and Behrman's round as well in sympathy. 2 championship contenders off through turn 10. And what happened there? Behrman's got back going in 12th. I don't think he has any damage. But Verstappen definitely had no front wing there. That's 2 Red Bulls in the space of 2 laps. Breaking their front wing. Or 3 laps, sorry. Breaking their front wing. Tsunoda right at the back. I mean, as I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. But let's get a replay of what happened. He hit the back of Piastri. Yeah, just slightly outbraked himself. I don't think he expected Piastri to brake there. Then Behrman, what happened to him? I mean, I think the reason he spun Verstappen was because he got on the curb. And it did seem to be the exact same issue. It is. He just brakes on the curb, gets on the grass, and they're both round at the same time. And then they hit again, and Behrman's lucky not to get damage from that. What happened to Jack doing then? Why is he so far back? We saw his off with, who is it? I think, oh, he had a moment through the hairpin. It was with Piastri, which sent him a little bit down the pack. And, oh, he'd move on Bortoletto, which takes Lawson almost out with him. And that's what sends him right to the back of the pack. Getting on board with that. No, Bortoletto's the one making the move. And, oh, I mean, that's, I think, to be honest, you slow it down. Doohan, it's not much room Bortoletto's giving Doohan there. But then Doohan kind of does just drive into the side of him and go off the track. I think that's more on Bortoletto, but it could just be classed as a racing incident, that. Anyway, Yuki Tsunoda, what happened to him? Because he did miss that. How he did, I don't know. What happened to the Japanese championship contender for the second year in a row? Just went right into the back of Gasly. That's a huge shame. Anyway, we are a little bit behind. Now we're way too far in front. Almost perfect. And now we're perfect. Who is Tsunoda racing then? Is it his teammate? It's not, it's Fred Vesti. In the Cadillac, he must have had an issue as well. Bleed, no, it's still the McLaren 1-2. Norris leading Piastri. Anyone else finding himself near the back? Hadjar. I'm being told he also spun at turn 10. He was battling up there for 5th. So he was up there. Is it another turn 10 spin? Very tricky corner after turn 8 and 9. Let's see, on board of him. David Malukas up to 4th, and yet it's the exact same. What happened to the two Red Bulls? It's happened to the sister car, and Hadjar has gone round. And he was doing so well. That's a huge shame for the Frenchman, who finds himself right at the back now. Didn't get any damage, thankfully, but he is still a long way back. Anyone else with issues? No, it doesn't look like it. Just the usual suspects, I think, at the back, including one of Jack Doohan. This has not had a great race so far. Let's go on board of him as he chases down Carlos Sainz. See if he can do anything with the DRS. Of course, DRS is available in this circuit. It's this straight, of course, the main straight, and then from turn 12 to 13, that's straight as well. Oh, a little bit wide there. And then a little bit wide again. Is he? He is wide. And oh, he's just been taken out by Sainz. Okay. I think that could be a penalty for Sainz there. Oh, and now he's been collected by Fred Vesti. And is that an unsafe rejoin from Doohan? No, it's not Fred Vesti, or it's Joe Guan Yu. So the replacement driver. I don't think that's a... I think he just bounced off the wall there. I don't think that's an unsafe rejoin. That's just the physics, I guess. He just bounces off. Yeah, he isn't on the accelerator. If you look at the bottom left, and go on board with him, look at the bottom left, down here. It'll go green if he's on the accelerator. And he wasn't a bit, but I think that was more of a reaction for the crash, and that's, I think, he's just really unlucky from both of them to get collected in that. Anyway, replay for the actual incident. Sainz kind of, from how it looked, because I know Doohan went wide, but he never went off the track. Sainz just drove into him like he wasn't even there. That will probably be a penalty for Carlos Sainz, I fear. Let's get a quick onboard. And yeah, act like he wasn't even there. That'll be a penalty for Sainz. 100%. I've been told as well that Leclerc's had an issue. He has. He was on 18th at one point. Was that in the opening lap? Did I miss something? He must have, yeah. That's when Tsunoda went off. And then what happened? Oh, I just broke on the grass and spun the car around. Thankfully, was able to miss everyone. And to go off board of it. I don't know how we missed this. I mean, maybe we didn't. Then Leclerc's round. Oh, that's a huge shame. Anyway, back live. Leclerc is kind of making his way up the field. He's got a... Oh, who's that? Lost their rear wing. Someone's rear wing went off there. Hang on. Just behind Leclerc. That will be one of the front runners. I'll go on board a Gasly. What happened? Don't be Malukas. No. What happened? So I can see it there. Who is it? Who it is, Maluka? Oh no! And Gasly's gone round now. Ooh, that was a weird rejoin. How did Malukas lose his rear wing there then? Oh no, too far. What happened? Was it Colapinto into the back of him and Alex Albon? So both of them off. Albon, another torrid race for him, and oh, Gasly's got kind of spooked there from Antonelli. I think it was Antonelli. Anyway, let's go back live because we are taking our sweet time and we are missing battles for the lead. Let's just fast forward it a little bit. Then I'll have a look to see who's where. There we go, we're back live now. So it's still a McLaren 1-2, but it's the other way around this time. Piastri leading Norris. Leclerc's up to 4th despite a first lap spin. Lucas is right at the back, of course he's just had to pit for a new rear wing. I-120. Colapinto down to 19th. What's happened to him? Your winner last time out. Is he always near the back? No. This is him in 12th. Did he go off or what? He must have. Idiot. He broke his front wing of Malukas. I've got memory of a bloody dory. Anyway, let's go back live then. Almost live. There we go. Okay, so still McLaren 1-2. Now Norris leads Piastri. The reason, by the way, if you're new to this, is why I'm not so invested in the front battle for now, is anything can happen. This is like Formula E type racing at this point. Yeah, as I said earlier, Tsunoda won the British Grand Prix despite having no rear wing at one point and being a lap down, so who knows what will happen. And that wasn't the only time that people have won races despite getting damaged. How is Jack Doohan doing? He's up to 12th. Not too bad. He's got his teammate just behind him. But currently in 12th. Oh, he's wide though. Through turn 13. And that will let Ocon and Crawford in front. But he's looking immediately to try and get past them. And oh, he's hit his teammate and they're both round. And the golden rule's broken. And Doohan completely outbroke himself there. Ocon's off with no rear wing. Doohan's just driven right into the back of his teammate there. What on earth, did he just miss his braking zone? He must have. He's darting for the inside there. It's a really late lunge, which wasn't late enough, or was too late, because he's just completely driven into his teammate there. Unfortunately. And that, I fear, I know it's teammate on teammate, you can still get penalties for them. And it's not just time penalties, it could be inter-team penalties as well. His next car behind Doohan is actually Yuki Tsunoda, who of course pitted on lap 1 for front wing damage. Anyway, still a McLaren 1-2, so not really much to look at. There's quite a gap between Piastri and then Russell and Leclerc behind. Then it's the other two, Ferrari and Mercedes, of Behrman and Antonelli fighting each other. Sainz in 7th. He had just been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Doohan. There we go. Bortoleto in 8th. We've got a nice little battle with Pourchaire and Gasly. Hadjar 11th by himself. He, of course, spun round earlier on. Then it's Crawford and Lawson and Doohan. So with Tsunoda closing up this battle. This could be a good battle to watch. Crawford, Lawson versus Doohan just behind. These two have had quite a race so far. Let's go on board with Doohan as he makes the move. He's already made the move. And he's very close now to Lawson. And they're side by side as Doohan tries to get past. He's a little bit wide. There's contact. Oh, there's more contact. And oh, Doohan's round, is he? He is round. What happened there? Another off for Jack Doohan. Oh my days. Jack Doohan has not had a good... He's had good qualifying luck, but the races last 2 weeks have been absolutely torrid. What happened there then? I mean, Lawson just drove into him. Lawson's lucky, didn't get collected there. A bit of karma. I mean, did he? Let's go on board. Good luck to me there. And it's another example of someone driving into Jack Doohan. Yes, Doohan hasn't been all perfect this race. I mean, slow it down. So Doohan goes a bit wide. There's already contact because Lawson just drives into him. And let's just be back here. I mean, where's Doohan meant to go there? He's turning into turn 3. He's lucky he didn't get sent into that wall. He had to overcorrect it. And then... yeah. Then spins round. And then the gravel just doesn't help him whatsoever. And that is another off for Jack Doohan. Oh, that was close. There you go. Already live. Oh, hello. There's been a development in front. Now George Russell leads. It's not a McLaren 1-2, it's McLaren 2-3. And the front runners are finally catching up to each other. We've got Albon a lap down in 21st. That means I think it's Ocon also a lap down. That collision is already under investigation. And I expect as Norris gets a bit on the gravel. Yeah, Norris is on mediums. I've just noticed. Everyone else on hard. Lando Norris is on mediums. And might be why he's shot up in this race. It's Piastri will try and get around the outside of his teammate, and Russell and Norris come together. Russell's round, Norris without a rear wing, and that is the third driver in the top 3 in the championship to have to pit for damage, and I could see that happening a mile off. Russell goes right into the back of him there, and he hasn't got a front wing. He's going slowly. There might be Russell out of this race. But Norris is going to have to come into the pits and replace that rear wing now. And that will probably put him, maybe not a lap down. He does not want to be a lap down, of course. But in he comes, and where will he come out? That will be interesting. Russell as well will pit. He ended up spinning around. We're not going to get a replay. If you want a replay, just rewind. There's Piastri and Leclerc battling for the lead now. Leclerc, he was near the back on the opening lap. Albon's unlapped himself, which is good for him. But it's Leclerc versus Piastri now. Antonelli versus Behrman still going on out for third, just behind. And a drive-through penalty for Jack Doohan for causing a collision. That will be with Ocon. And I mean, fair enough. But I mean, yeah. If you're going to give that, would Russell not get the same for breaking Norris's rear wing? Malukas, Colapinto and Albon. I don't know. We'll see what their reasoning is. That will probably come out sooner or later. Because I mean, we haven't even seen the other ones under investigation. There is no longer a limit, by the way, like a 3-lap max. You've got to serve your drive through. You can serve it whenever you want. So we'll see when Doohan does serve it. I mean, probably be smart to serve it as soon as possible, as Malukas is just got in front of Norris. Norris comes out in 20th. Almost a lap down. That is not great for his championship, but this race is not over, of course. We're only on lap 14 of 63. As Leclerc gets back in front of Piastri. Russell, by the way, where did he come out? He pitted a lot after Norris, but of course had a lot less time in the pits. He comes out in 16th, so behind Colapinto, in front of Vesti. Doing in 14th. There's Behrman now trying to get involved in this battle. They go through the really slow turn 5, through 6 and 7, which is probably one of the worst corner sections of all time. And now Piastri's not got a rear wing. That's another McLaren to have damage. He's come together with Leclerc. What is going on here in Antalya? Leclerc is driven right into Piastri. And Piastri, while he might not be in a title fight, it's still not ideal for him. I mean, to be fair, let's rewind it. I don't think Piastri's entirely faultless for that. Let's look at it. Slow it down. Leclerc goes for the move down the inside. And Piastri does turn in like Leclerc isn't there. Yes, it's not Leclerc's corner, but he's still driven into him. I think that could be classed as a racing incident. And I'm just looking through the steward's feeds. Racing incident, all the other rear wing damages, apart from doing the knock-on, were classed as a racing incident. And there's reasons for that. Just like that, it might have been 6 to 1/2 dozen the other. Whereas if you saw Ocon, I mean, you would have saw Ocon and Doohan's collision. That was definitely not 6 to 1/2 dozen the other. That's probably why Doohan got the drive-through. Anyway, Leclerc back into the lead. Piastri's torrid season continues. And if you want to know why Piastri's season is classed as so torrid, by myself, let me just sort some headphones out, because I'm dying. Yeah, Piastri's, what's it called? His points total, there we go, that wasn't difficult to think of, was it? Yeah, Piastri's points total this season is a grand total of 66. His teammates on 141. That's why Piastri's... I mean, it's not as bad as your current race leader, Charles Leclerc, who fights Kimi Antonelli 5-second time... No, 10-second time penalty for Liam Lawson for causing a collision. I'm surprised it's 10 and Sainz was 5. Oh no, Sainz was 10. I'm blind, okay. I think it might have been a mistake from the system. But yeah, Charles Leclerc, he's on 40 points currently. Even worse than Piastri by a long way. Teammate is on 129. Oliver Behrman. Speaking of Behrman, he's disappeared. Verstappen's in 3rd. Hang on. Let me just sort some wires out a second. And plug one of these monitors in, because for some reason it hasn't been charged during this race. How's everyone doing then? No, Verstappen is in 3rd. Where's Behrman and Antonelli gone? Behrman down to 15th is pitting. And where's Antonelli? Am I blind? Oh, he's leading. Idiot. But Behrman out of the pit. Is that for a new front wing by any chance? He's put on a set of hards. And it was for a new front wing. What happened to Behrman? He went round. And that would have been fighting for his team with his teammate. It would have been probably while I was on board with Leclerc. Oh, that was watching a replay. And it's the exact same. It's the second time he's done that this race. He hasn't learned. He did it just after Verstappen did it. Thankfully didn't break his front wing at that point. Now he has. He hasn't learned his lesson. And that will send Behrman right to the back of the pack. Well, not right at the back, but you know what I mean. Oh, I love it when we just go almost bang on live. But he's down to 15th then. It's Antonelli, Verstappen in 3rd. I mean, yeah, did he? No, he did break his front wing. Surprised he's so much further ahead, by the way, than Tsunoda. Doohan is 14th. He's still on the same set of hards he started on. Oh, where's he going? I don't know. Oh, he's into the pits. So Doohan's in. So he's over the drive-through or is he pitting? I'm guessing it'll be the drive-through. He hasn't got any damage. Oh, no, he is pitting. Okay. He is pitting. Seemed a normal time stop, so must have been a tyre change. Hard only last 16 laps. He's on to soft. Which, if hard lasts 16 laps, how on earth are the softs going to last any longer than 10 for him with the way he's been driving? Yes, all the clevers has happened. Yes, it's not been the best driving. Not all his fault, remember. Of course, he was taken out by 2 people. Ooh, Leclerc barged his way through there into the lead. As the Turkish flag flies high and proudly on the top of the pit area. See the grandstands filled onto the start finish straight. Where else have we got grandstands on this circuit? Let's have a look. Got any here? Nope. Any around? Oh yeah, there are some by turn 4. They've had some good action today. And in turn 5, yep, turn 5 have some. Turn 6 and 7 have a lot. As Leclerc, they're watching this great battle between Leclerc and Verstappen. Right up here through 9 and 10. No, none there. That'd be a good place to have one. I mean, they can see. Oh, it's Leclerc's wide and Leclerc's round! And the top 2 come together. And now it's Leclerc's turn to be spun round, and Verstappen now leads after having to pit for a new front wing early on. But luckily for Leclerc, he hasn't got damage. He's only down to 5th. Terry Porcher, by the way, in 4th. Which, I mean, man, he almost won the opening round of the season and scored barely any points since. And that isn't a joke, by the way. Or an exaggeration. Ended up 3rd in Australia and New Zealand after almost winning it. He scored twice since, a 6th in Chicago and a 5th in Czechia. And hasn't finished better than 16th, if he's apart from those 3 races. So, yeah, not been the best season for Porsche at all. No one's in the pits. Doohan has served the drive-through, by the way, on his outlap. So he's now down all the way in 21st, with only his teammate behind him a lap down, which happens to be why he got the drive-through. Sorry about that, my throat's playing up. His hand nearly fights Hadjar. It's the 2 that were fighting, one in Chicago before crashing out in the opening lap. And then gifting it to David Malukas. Snowder up to 6th. Leclerc still in 5th. Crawford in 7th. He hasn't scored points since his podium in Japan. No, he hasn't. He scored 7 and he got 7th in Finland. That's what I meant to say. He hasn't scored points since his before last week. He hasn't scored points since Japan. There we go. He's on 34 currently. Which isn't bad for a rookie. I mean, a rookie, not a so competitive team of Aston Martin. His teammate is on 31. He's actually doing better than his teammate. Of course, they Maloney with Sauber for a few years. But Maloney has missed 2 races. And that's 3 races because he isn't even racing this weekend. Well, 2 races up to this one. And the races missed were China and Chicago. So, the man that replaced him at Chicago ended up winning. So, yeah. It's now it's Verstappen versus Antonelli for the lead. Are they going to behave themselves? Who knows? Where's Hadjar gone as well? He's just been dropped. He's dropped off a little bit. And Leclerc's got past him and Porsche. I'm assuming Snowder will follow through at some point soon. George Russell as well in 7th place. As this race is flying by on lap 20. It's been a very well clean. The fact there's been no DNFs. When was the last time there was a race with no DNFs? Was it China? No, not China. Definitely wasn't China. Last race with no DNFs. Of course, there's a long way to go. Remember, has that actually happened yet this year? South Africa was the last race with no DNFs. Yeah, South Africa. And then Japan also had no DNFs. And yeah, those are the only two races so far, Japan and China, not have DNF. So if it stays like this, we won't have any. It'll be the third race this year. As someone's in, or is it just Albon and Joe fighting? It is. You've got a 3-car battle. Albon, Joe, and Doohan fighting for P19. As Albon gets past the Cadillac, Doohan shoots off into the distance. And yeah, it's a bit of else to watch. Verstappen kind of gapped Antonelli there. With Leclerc getting closer. Poor Chair's got in front of Hadjar. It's crazy how 4 out of the top 6, 5 out of the top 7, 6 out of the top 8. Yeah, 6 out of the top 8. Actually, no. 7 out of the top 9 have all been either spun round or broken their front wing in the first 21 laps of this race, and they're still in the top 10. How crazy is that? That is absolutely wild. As Leclerc's got in front of Antonelli. So Leclerc now back up to second place after the spin earlier in a few laps ago. Dropping down to 5th, as now Tsunoda's got past Isaac Hadjar. And now is chasing down Portier, just like I predicted. Russell in 7th, he's got Ocon just in front of him still, and Tsunoda's almost round. What happened there? As soon as I take my eyes off them, he's dropped right back behind them. And he's trying to get him past Portier. And he's... Okay, if gap car... It's gone for crap that didn't even exist. Okay, well, whatever. Back live. Lucky he stayed in front of Ocon, as Albon's pitted again for a new front wing. How has he done that? He was fighting with Joe 2 minutes ago. Oh well. It's for 20th. Who cares, really? Verstappen now have quite a lead over Antonelli. So the battle for second is the one we'll watch. 2nd to 7th. I'm sure they'll drag Verstappen. And at one point, as Leclerc is pushing Antonelli through turn 5. And now Portier will try and get past Leclerc, which he does. Willie through turn 7, he does, and Portier up to 3rd. What a drive he's having, and now down inside, now Portier's in 2nd place. And Hadjar will try and get 3rd as well, past Antonelli, which he does. And this can't end well. It can't end well, and it won't end well for George Russell, who just about saved it. That's a brilliant save from the reigning world champion. But we've still got turn 13, which is also a big pinch point of a corner. But I think they've separated enough, as Ocon now not last, he's 2nd to last. And trying to unlap himself, which nah, I think it's working. As Leclerc down to 7th place. Portier in 2nd, Hadjar 3rd. Tsunoda's trying to get past the sister car to 3rd place. Which he currently can't, as who's that lost their front wing? It's George Russell again. George Russell at the back of someone. And now he's into the pits for a 2nd time this race. Actually, is it 2nd time? No, he did. Yeah, he did break his front wing earlier on. When he hit the back of... I can't remember. Lando Norris, that's it. That's the 2nd time this race Russell's had to pit for a new front wing. This Franco Colapinto is going to try and catch up this battle. Tsunoda's up to 2nd place. Verstappen has absolutely drove into the distance as Portier lunges on Tsunoda. Slows everyone down even more. Hadjar's going to get past. No, he's not. Hadjar won't get past him. He'll still try and fight Tsunoda. He'll go round the outside into 9. And it's not going to work out just yet. But it can. But it won't. Because now Hadjar's trying something. Leclerc's trying a move. Which he will make into turn 10. No, he won't. Because Portier holds onto it. The Frenchman in the Audi. Who's been nowhere this year. Was all of a sudden, for the first time since New Zealand, battling for a win. Well, for a podium, I should say. Verstappen is not anywhere near them at the moment. He is. Where is Verstappen? It's a pretty big gap. There's now Tsunoda tries to fight off into this, shoot off into the distance. Red Bull 1-2. And it's the team that had... Oh no, Tsunoda's in! Tsunoda's into the pits. What's that for? He didn't get damaged, did he? He didn't. It must be the hards ending their life. Which is weird. There's Leclerc's in as well. Why is it him who had pitted... I mean, and Gasly in as well. Obviously, Snow's been pushing a bit more with the falling back in the pack. Crawford in as well. I think that's it. Snowder in front of Leclerc. Just about. And I want to see what I'm interested to see where they come out. Verstappen yet to pit. Hadjar, then Antonelli in second and third, then Pourchaire in fourth. Fifth is Colapinto. Is he in this group? He isn't. Behrman despite breaking his front wings in 7th place. Lawson in 8th, Sainz in 9th, both of them with 10-second penalties for each their instance of doing. Snowder still in, he's come out in 10th, in front of George Russell, who pitted not long, but literally a lap before, with front wing damage. Leclerc in 12th, so Russell's jumped Leclerc, that's why having front wing damage. Gasly comes out 13th, Norris in 14th, he didn't pit though. Of course he had damage, broken rear wing after being hit by George Russell. And Hadjar will come in, and so will Antonelli. Ocon stays out. Where will Terry Pourchaire decide to go? He stays out as well, so he comes into 2nd place. Colapinto will be 3rd. Of course, Colapinto pitted later on than everyone with front wing damage. Verstappen's front wing damage was a little bit after Snowden, so he might stay out a little bit longer. But I think it'll be Pourchaire leading Colapinto when Verstappen eventually comes in. Behrman will stay out as well. Who's in 4th place? Hadjar in 5th. He just pitted, of course. So Lawson stays out. Who else came in? Who's that? Is that Sainz? No, it's Hadjar. Sainz stayed out. Of course, 10-second time with him and Lawson, as I just mentioned. Verstappen with a huge lead over Colapinto and Terry Pourchaire. Actually, hang on. Was that Ocon? Can't tell if it was Ocon or Verstappen. We'll have to see in a second. It is Ocon, okay. Panic over. I thought Verstappen had an issue or something because that gap shouldn't be going that quickly. Yeah, I don't think Pourchaire probably will pit unless he broke his front wing. I didn't notice. Which I don't think happened. I'm not going crazy, am I? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Everyone pitted onto hards. Well, oh, actually, no, that might be a lie. No, I think they did. No, they came onto mediums, those people. So, the only one on softs, I believe, is Duan, who is still all the way down in 18th place. What could have been for Duan? What could have been? Is Russell now fighting Sainz? And Lawson's in. He'll be serving his 10-second now. Who else came in? There's more. Verstappen came in from the lead. He'll come out just behind everyone in 6th place. So that he stayed out a little bit extra. And he comes out in front of Leclerc. You can see Lawson waiting a long time. He's serving a penalty. Pourchaire also came in. There we go. Then Lawson all the way down in 18th after that penalty. And these two broke their front wings a little later on. So I'd say your net race leader is Yuki Tsunoda, followed by George Russell. He only just pitted for a new front wing, but I guess that wasn't the worst thing in the world to happen. He would have pitted anyway. Sainz still yet to pit. When he pits, he will have served that 10-second. Verstappen in 6th. And ooh, barge out of the way there from Verstappen, who came onto the soft compound tyre. Leclerc fighting Antonelli just behind. And Antonelli will go around the outside. Then it's Gasly and Hadjar, your top 10. Crawford will be in 10th once Sainz pits. I think everyone else has pitted. Well, for this cycle of pits at least, apart from Carlos Sainz. So he will still stay out. These tyres are lasting him a long time. But is that a good thing? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Yeah, he hasn't pitted yet, has he? If Leclerc gets up to 6th place, I don't think he has. And what's the gap between Behrman and Tsunoda? Pretty good big gap. So what's about for 3rd, which is now going to be claimed by Verstappen, as he gets past his teammate. As we close in on half race distance. Currently, I mean, a rarity, in fact. We've had no safety car or red flag yet this race. We've had a red flag, a lot of red flags recently. And I think we had one in... We had one quite consecutively, actually. We had one in Finland after Duan's big hit into the wall. We had one in Brands... No, hang on. We had two in Brands. One because of... I think it was Ocon's barrel roll crash on the curb, and then one for Norris's huge barrel roll. I think we had one in the sprint race as well. Czechia had one because Drogovic went over and over. I think Spain was actually, despite being a street circuit, quite clean in terms of, apart from the opening lap. Don't think we saw a red flag there. France, we had one when we had that huge hour-long delay when Verstappen had a huge airplane accident into the catch fence. Canada, I think, was fine. There was a pretty big hit, but didn't quite run into a red flag. It was just a safety car, I think. Was it even a safety car? I don't know. Chicago, of course, had that big crash in the opening lap between Verstappen and Norris. Argentina, I don't think had any red flags. South Africa, I think was fine. Japan was fine. China was fine. Australia had that big hit on the opening lap, on the final lap with Ocon. I think that's it. Anyway, the battle for 3rd has ended because Verstappen shot off into the distance again. He has probably been the fastest driver all day, I'd say. Russell in 5th. How is this battle going? The two Red Bulls have shot off. The two Mercedes are still fighting each other. Leclerc and Gasly are here. Hadjar, Crawford. Where's Colapinto gone? Oh no, he's in the front, isn't he? Oh, Sainz. That's disappeared. Is it? Where's Sainz? Where is the Spaniard? He came out in 11th. So despite serving that 10... No, he's still on hards. They look fresh though. He must have pitted. Let's compare them to Colapintos. Yeah, I think he has pitted. He must have. Verstappen has got past Behrman, by the way. Of course. I mean, to be fair, I question why he's shot off. He's on softs. No wonder. As Antonelli has got past his teammate and is now gapping him. Leclerc's fighting Gasly into turn 10. As Gasly gets past Leclerc, Hadjar watching on behind. Surprised Sainz is only in 11th despite serving that 10 second. No, I don't think he hasn't pitted. There's no chance he's pitted because he was here. He's not going to drop 5 seconds behind, is he? No chance that Sainz has pitted yet. I was going to say, because the pit, he had a 10 second as well, which he would have had to have served. So, yeah. I don't think he has pitted, to be honest. Let's see what happens this lap then. He'll be miles behind even with that 10, without that 10 second. Yeah, DRS will open. And they're going to be 3 wide almost. Gasly will hold off for now though. This Leclerc will get past. No, he was staying in front of Hadjar, and there's a big wobble on the gravel there for Leclerc. Big moment. As they're now side by side. Nothing will happen just yet though. Anthony has kind of shot off. Russell's dropped off a bit. Gasly's got in front of him. Mm. Okay, no. That's not... Okay, I think everything was fine. I don't think anything happened there. If you had the steam noise in the background, ignore that. I think we're all good. Yeah, okay, I was checking the the feed. I'm trying to set up Steam, or something to do with Steam. Hence the, yeah. Well, it's to do with iRacing actually, but yeah, that's why I'm a bit quiet at the moment. For what? Are we being real? Sign into iRacing using a Steam account, which is what I'm doing. Oh, I'm sorting this out later. Not doing it now. Yeah, well, this is the last race before the summer break. So we've got today's the 26th. The next race is on the 23rd of August, and that'll be a night race at the Maastricht Ring. And people are pitting again. Hang on, let's pause a second. People are pitting. Who came in? I think Colapinto's in, Antonelli in, Leclerc in. Ignore Fred Vesey, he's not part of this. Hadjarin, what's Colapinto doing reversing? Oh, an unsafe release there. Was that from Bortoleto and Colapinto? What's going on? I don't know what happened there. Yeah, Colapinto in. Oh, wrong one. Antonelli in. Porsche, no. I don't think he came in. Yeah, just these three. And Leclerc. Leclerc came in as well. And there was another one. It's Hadjar. And that Bortoleto as well. Yeah, so a few in. Verstappen must have come in as well, because he's down to 8th place. The soft's not lasting long enough. Doohan's into 6th, also on softs, I think. Oh, Norris goes round again! And that's Championship lead Lando Norris round through turn 10. And he's another one to make the same mistake everyone's made already this race. And he's tried to get past Jack Doohan. And it's not worked out. And he's gone round. And that is a huge shame for Lando Norris. If we go back live. Turning down to 8th though, so it's not the end of the world. I think Doohan went off as well. What's happened to Doohan? He is very wide. Where's he going? What on earth? Oh, he went off. So he's gone down his side and Sainz. These two have already come together once this race. He's pushed him onto the curb, and then I think it's Doohan trying to get a bit of payback on Sainz, and it is completely not working. And he rejoins. What happened there? Is that contact between him and Colapinto? He's timing the Colapinto, yeah, doing. The rule in NASCAR, and this isn't NASCAR, it's F1, but the rule in NASCAR is you win a wreck others, don't wreck yourself. And I think he has broken that rule. Next up is Liam Lawson, who he's also had issues with this race. Will he learn? Let's see. It's the same corner as well. Let's see what happens. He sends one. They touch. And this time it's a lot cleaner. In fact, for Liam Lawson, Jack Doohan at least. Walks up a little bit through 16. But he survives. Anyway, who leads? It's Tsunoda currently over Behrman. Russell and Gasly fighting for third. Let's watch this one. As I was saying, yeah, the next race is a night race for the Dutch Grand Prix. When was the last time we had a European night race? I'm not too sure, but it'll be 9 PM UK time, 8 PM 8 PM local UK time, 9 PM local time. There we go. Very interesting to see how that goes. It's a long lap as well. It's only 39 laps. That's how long it is. There's Gasly and Russell still fighting into 13. And Gasly leads still. Reigns in third. Anyway, what else we got on today? Of course, a bit of an earlier start because we are 2 hours ahead of the UK instead of 1 hour over in Turkey, and they are kind of catching up to Behrman as well. But, yeah, we've got that Italian GT Cup race 2 currently on. We've got Moto 3 European Championship, Moto 4 sorry, European Championship on soon. In about 5 minutes time. MXGP race 1 just finished at Czechia. Alec GT4 Germany, right there, second race on, not too long. Then we've got BTCC for their second race of the day. Italian F4 for their fourth race of the weekend. We got the Stock European Championship on in about an hour. Ferrari Challenge UK, sorry, have their second race of the weekend. And Brands Hatches Verstappen kind of closing in on these lot. He went back onto the softs. MX2 have their second race in Czechia. GT4 Italy have their second race of the weekend at Mugello. Stock Car Pro Series have their feature race in Velocita. ERC have their power stage for the Rally Poland. MXGP second race of the day. British F4 third race of the weekend. And don't tell me Verstappen broke his front wing. He did! Verstappen's broken his front wing through turn 10. And he's the fastest man of the race. He's got the fastest lap. He's been flying all weekend. Has hit Gasly. And that will send him into the pit, and that will ruin his race. After literally just pitting for a new set of softs. If he is smart, bro, over half race distance, he could pit for hards and go to the end. But we'll see what he does. But that is huge. That is absolutely massive. There he goes, he's in. Who's leading then? Is it still Tsunoda? Yeah, Tsunoda, Behrman, Gasly. Russell is fighting Albon, who's a lap down. Antonelli's got Joe just in front of him, who's also a lap down. Piastri, what's happening to them? Piastri by himself, Doohan by himself. Not really much going on. So what I'm going to do is we'll go to Behrman, because Gasly's not too far behind. We'll go for a lap. Actually, no, I want to finish off what I was saying first. BTCC also have another race today. TCR South America, TCR Brazil have their second race of the weekend. Brickyard 400 for NASCAR Cup Series. Stocklight have their last 2 races of the weekend. F4 Brazil have their last race of the weekend. And then later on tonight, World of Outlaws at Weed Sport Speedway. USAC Amsoil National Sprint Cars at Lawrenceburg. High Limit Racing at Port Royal. And that is that. Of course, NHRA, of course, Northwest Nationals, that'll be a late one. Ferrari Challenge North America at Sonoma as well. Amsoil Championship Off-Road at Dirt City. NASCAR Mexico on today. And that is that. So yeah, I'll see you in the end of this lap. Little battle. Lawson, Hadjar, Pourchaire and Verstappen for 9th place. What tyres did Verstappen choose to go on to? Still the soft, so he's trusting them. That's for sure. He gets past Pourchaire. Probably get past Lawson as well. Which he does. But this battle for the lead is getting close. I think Albon's trying to unlap himself. He probably will. With the pace he's going at over Tsunoda. Gasly and Russell for 3rd. Antonelli's still by himself, trying to get past Joe. Leclerc by himself. Doohan by himself. Hadjar by himself. No, he's not. Verstappen gets past him. Well, tries to at least. Will he? He will. Anyway, I'm gonna watch. Actually, no, what's better? Battle for 3rd or Battle for 1st? I think 1st. Despite there being a little bit of a gap at the moment, I think this could get tasty. Let's keep an eye on it. I won't go for a break, but I will stay a bit quieter just to see what happens. Okay, Behrman's disappeared. Of course he has. He has, but he is close. Gasly is closing into him, so we'll go about for 2nd here. So I want to stay quiet until they definitely get close to each other. I won't go for a break, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, they're already right next to each other. Oh, and Behrman put them to the pits. Killjoy. So in comes Behrman. We can still have a battle between Gasly and Russell though. Interesting to see where Behrman comes out. Good results there of how badly the two McLarens are doing, well, especially Lando Norris. He could shoot himself back into title contention. Of course, the man that won the opening round of the season hasn't won since. But he's always been up there. I mean, he had 2 seconds in a row after that. Hasn't seen the podium since that second, I don't think. I could be wrong. But the rookie Ferrari, well, not a rookie, but the debutant Ferrari driver. No, he didn't get 2 seconds in a row. What am I on about? He got 14th in China. But he has had a other podium, that was in Canada. Since then, only 3 podiums this year. And after the way the season started, I think he would have expected more. But yeah, it will get interesting. That's for sure. When will Russell get Gasly then? Or if he will. It's not definite, but we'll see. It's always this part of the race where the race is on just staying out a bit. All the action has happened, people have pitted. They start getting gaps, and it just gets a little bit stale. You know, I'm gonna go have a break for that, and I'll see you at the end of it, see what happens. Right at the end of that lap, Russell is going to come into the pit, so does Tsunoda from the lead, so Gasly will take over. Interesting to see where Tsunoda ends up. Antonelli also stays out. Leclerc as well. Verstappen obviously stays out. Vesti's a lap down. Tsunoda will come out in 5th? Or who's this? It's Hadjar. I think we'll get in front of him. Will Doohan end up in front? No, because Doohan come in as well. In comes Doohan as well. In ninth, his softs have gone. Let's see what he goes on to. And then we'll see what Snowder goes on to. Doohan stays on softs. Snowder goes on to softs. Surely these softs can last 20 laps. And they will end up at the end. Gasly is on the mediums currently. Antonelli is on softs. Verstappen also on softs. But gaps pretty big between each of them. Well, not huge, but Leclerc and Verstappen are close. And Hadjar as well, quite a gap. Let's see. Watch on board with Leclerc. How much his head's moving? That can't be normal. And Joe a lap down, pretty close to these lot. Verstappen will move out to get past the Chinese replacement driver. Of course, facing Drogovic, who is been racing in Japan this weekend in Formula 8. Quite close to Joe's home, actually, of course, in China. Did anyone else pit? Oof, well, Gasly came in. Snowden will move up another position. Doohan, where did he come out? He came out quite a bit down, 15th, just in front of Piastri. It's Lantinelli who leads from Verstappen. Leclerc still chasing him down. He's got Zhou Guanyu right in front of him. This will be a good battle to watch once Leclerc clears the Cadillac driver, but he's not able to do it through 8 or 9. Can you get him through 10? Don't do what everyone else has done in this corner. He almost has. It's a good save though from Leclerc. I could see that happening a mile off though. I think that for DRS though. I think so will Joe. But the Ferrari is much faster than the Cadillac. Yes, they've both got the same engine. But Leclerc will get in front. And now he'll chase down Verstappen. Great fighting between these two. There we go, with DRS, will Leclerc make the move? Same tyres, but the DRS won't help him just yet. But he's got a few more corners before the next zone. Just needs to keep within a second of the car in front. That being, of course, Verstappen. He goes a bit deep for the turn 5. A lot of people have been doing that though, of course, that very tricky corner. Gap is increasing a little bit. Is that Antonelli? I think it is. Antonelli just in front. So they're both catching up to him. Leclerc will have DRS again. But the gap is a lot bigger than last time. And it's not going to happen just yet. And it is Antonelli, so this battle for second is turning into a battle for the lead. And I think we might go on board with Verstappen because Leclerc is dropping off quite a bit to the Dutchman, who as it stands will take the championship lead, and he does take the lead of this race with just under 20 laps to go. Verstappen lead from Antonelli. Hadjar in fourth. How far? He's, yeah, quite a big way. Leclerc is caught up so much to Antonelli. His tyres must be gone. And Leclerc gets in front as well, and can he manage to get anywhere close to Verstappen again? I don't know. We'll have to see. But for now, the gap is quite big. We'll watch it though for a little bit, see what happens. Yeah, of course, we will see if he can make any advances towards Verstappen. Nothing just yet though. But I mean, nah, he won't have DRS just yet. He might do sooner or later though. We'll have to find out. No, I'm so tired. It's only like 2. I'm not had a late night either. There's barely anything on overnight. F3 was on earlier though, and Hungary. Don't know why they're doing some early still. There's no F1 on any more those sorts of races. F3 and F2 don't support F1 anymore, which is a shame to be honest. But oh well. Can Leclerc get the move done? No, he can't. He's still right behind them. He definitely has caught up to the Dutchman. We'll go off board for a little bit. Here we go. Antonelli is still there if anything happens between these two. Leclerc will try it round the outside. They'll be side by side through 6 and 7. It's not going to work out though. About just over 15 laps left. And we have got a nice battle for the lead. Of course, there's no saying this will stay like this. There's doing up to 8, so people have pitted but further back. We'll see how that ends up. Colapinto in 10th. Gasly 7th. Norris 6th. Okay, so maybe Verstappen won't end up champion. Actually, no. I think if it's either this, he will still be championship leader. Behrman 4th. Anthony 3rd. Where's Tsunoda gone? 11th. Okay. Just got past Bortoleto. He's on the soft, so he will be carving his way through the field. But these two still fighting each other. Leclerc will have DRS. Don't think Anthony has DRS. No, definitely won't. It's a bit over a second. Tomorrowland, of course, on as well today. One of the best music festivals in the world, which I'm not at. I would love to be, but yeah, we have this on, so I can't. Hopefully next year, if they don't host the race the same weekend, that would be lovely. But I doubt it. Yeah, still Verstappen leading though. The gap is kind of increasing. Verstappen. Oh, it's Leclerc. Anthony got past Leclerc. These two are fighting, and Leclerc's soft dropped off. They must have, but he's in, and so is Antonelli. Those two in. Verstappen, I'm assuming, stayed out. He did. Those two are in. Behrman, does he come in? No, he stays out. Hadjar stays out. Norris and Gasly, what are these two going to do? Gasly into the back of Norris there. How he didn't break his front wing, I don't know. But they both stay out as well. Doohan stays out. Piastri and Snowden will stay out. So where will they come out? They're coming out now. Leclerc 4th, 5th, 6th. He end up 7th, just behind Jack Doohan. And Antonelli, a little bit further back, here behind Piastri. Possibly even Tsunoda and Colapinto as well. And that's Ocon. He is behind Tsunoda. What about Colapinto? He will be behind Colapinto. So Antonelli down to 11th. That's a huge shame. But he does immediately get past Colapinto on the fresher tyres. So it is Verstappen who leads by a long, long way over Behrman. That's a huge gap. Hadjar, what about him? He's in 3rd. Gasly 4th. Norris not far behind in 5th. Leclerc 6th. Doohan in 7th. Leclerc has already got in front of Doohan as Doohan's round. Ooh, big hit into the wall for Doohan. What happened there? He got into the grass and it spun hard into the wall. He's somehow still going though. We saw Verstappen with a similar impact into the wall at Finland last week in Helsinki. But it looks like he's hit the wall at the perfect angle, not really get any damage. That was a hard hit into the wall. And just dips the car into the grass. And, oh man, how did he not get damage there? That was a harsh impact into the wall. Very lucky, and he doesn't even pit. Someone else does though. Who was that? It is Hadjar who came in. And he'll be a long way back, unfortunately. Long way behind. The McLaren Russell in 12th. I'm surprised he's dropped off a bit. Here we go, battle for third. Gasly, Leclerc and Norris. As these two side by side up the hill. Who hasn't got DRS is Lando Norris, so Leclerc and Gasly will be fighting each other. Leclerc gets in front of Gasly. Norris will try something. It's not going to work out though. Oh, a bit of grass caught there from Norris. Less than 15 laps left now. Almost done with probably the one and only race in Antalya. I don't think any other series will end up coming here. It's a shame, it was a good racetrack, but yeah, that's racing. And now Norris and Gasly will fight. Of course, Leclerc is on fresh tyres. Gasly isn't. These I don't think are either. Well, I mean, I don't think Norris is either. Yeah, side by side, through 6 and 7. Gasly just about stays in front. Norris in front in 4th now, and as it stands, Norris will retain his championship lead over Verstappen, but Verstappen will move in front of his teammate. And oh, Norris and Colapinto in. I need to wake up. I'm checking NHRA timings. For tonight is the yeah, 9 PM. That ain't bad. So Norris in, Colapinto in. Where does he come out? Colapinto, he was at the front earlier, but the man who won last week hasn't really been anywhere since. He'll come out in 14th place. Still though, Verstappen leads. Behrman is catching though. Snowder in 4th. These are still a long way back. Gasly and Piastri fighting just behind. There we go. Finally got the timings right. There's Gasly all over the back of Piastri, who's just got in front of him. Doohan just behind, trying to get in front of them. He'll want to get something out of this race. That's how unlucky it's been so far today. Very unlucky for the Aussie. As they go through 4. 6 and 7. Piastri want to hold on to this 4th place. I mean, there'll be 11 laps to go when they cross the line. Just under 12 to go. Gasly all over the back of the Australian. Will Gasly make the move down the inside? He isn't quite able to. Not just yet. Anyway, he'll go down the inside through 14. And Gasly finally up to the 4th, but Piastri fights back, goes a little bit wide. They're still side by side through 15. Down the hill into 16. Piastri with the inside line. They touch again. And they're still side by side. They can't be separated. I think Gasly will get the DRS. No, he doesn't. Piastri does. And that should be the end of it. But Gasly still fights back. Doohan kicks some grass up just behind. But Piastri will stay in front, of course, being helped with the DRS. Being ahead of the detection zone. But Gasly immediately down inside and into 4th. Through turn 2. Jack Doohan has the best seat in the house for this. Sorry about that yawn. I'm on board with Doohan, because it's looking good. He was a little bit deep, and now he's kind of been gapped a bit. Yeah, I don't think this is the great view anymore that it was before Doohan went deep into 5. Yeah, anyway, let's look for some more people. Maluka's down in 17th place. It's a shame for him, and his teammate Crawford down in 18th. Not a great race for Aston Martin. But, ooh, Verstappen's pitted. Verstappen has pitted. He's down to 7th place. Just behind Jack Doohan. And I think it should be a pretty straightforward move. Verstappen back onto another set of softs from the race lead. And I think this is Verstappen's race to lose. It's been one of the most dominant displays in F1 Fantasy recently. Such dominant race for the Dutchman. But Doohan isn't making it easy. It was a little bit wide through 2, sorry. He fights back. Doohan is making his car very wide. And he goes deep through 5, and I think that will let Verstappen by, and he does. And Verstappen up to 6th place. Next up for him is Oscar Piastri. And I think Doohan's tyres might be on their last legs. I've been told though on the radio that Doohan is planning to go to the end, but his tyres are gone, to be very difficult for him. I don't think people in front will be on the same though. He's got slightly better tyres than some, but slightly worse tyres than others. Let's look how close he is to Gasly already. I mean Piastri and Pierre Gasly. And I feel like he'll have DRS. He should make these 2 overtakes pretty easily. Let's see, through 16, already in front of Piastri, swoops around the outside of the McLaren, who peels into the pits. So Piastri's tyres are done. That'll be another position for Doohan. And with DRS, Verstappen should get past pretty easily, which he does. And Verstappen up to 3rd now, because someone else must have pitted from in front. Behrman came in as well as Oscar Piastri, so Behrman's from the lead. Piastri is not on super soft, ignore that. So Doohan up to 5th. He is going to chase down Gasly, but I don't think he'll be able to. Tsunoda leads. Leclerc trying to lap Colapinto. What's happened to Colapinto? He's down to 19th. What happened to him? Did he have to pit again? Yeah, he pitted earlier. Came out in 14th, so why is he now down in 19th? And a lap down. Did he pit again? He did, no, he broke his front wing battling Pourchaire. Oh no, that is a huge shame. I mean, I'm assuming it was Pourchaire. was Paul Share right at the start of the lap as well. And that is such a shame for Franco Colapinto. Then again, he's off this rear wing now. This race going from bad to worse for Colapinto. And that was literally just after he disappeared, I think. What's happened this time? It's the same corner with Leclerc. Oh, and you couldn't make it up. Oh, I mean, rip Colapinto's chances of winning. I think he could have pushed himself to title contention with the win last week, but nah, not anymore. As Verstappen has cleared Leclerc as well. So next up is Sonoda from the race lead. They're still fighting though, these two. They're still going at it with each other. And with not long left now, I think we'll go for one more break at the end of this. Actually, yeah, we'll go for one more break at the end of this lap, and then we'll watch the battle, see how it ends up, and I'll see you at the end of it. And I am back, because while I've gone, Leclerc's disappeared, and Verstappen has somehow caught up to Tsunoda, and is back into the lead. Am I surprised? No, because as I've said, he's been the fastest driver of the day by far. Apart from Jack doing the push. Speaking of Jack, he's been overtaken by Behrman. Those tyres are definitely gone. Saw him riding up the curb. Now he's down to 7th place. Oh, Snowder's in. His tyres haven't lasted. And from the lead, or from second, he's pitted. Leclerc gets past. So where will Snowder end up? I'm assuming he'll go into softs. I mean, this could be super soft territory, but I doubt it. Yeah, he's on softs. It's barely come out. It's 8th at the moment. Where's Hadjar? Hadjar will probably get in front of him. Norris will probably get in front of him. And 2 weeks in a row that Snowden's had to pit late, and it's cost him points. And he is down in 10th, so he's still in the points. Piastri in 11th place. And it's all about if other people have to pit as well, I guess. Verstappen, he pitted pretty recently. It'll be 5 laps to go and he crosses the line. I don't know. I think Verstappen has a chance to win this. I mean, obviously, he's been the most dominant driver of the day by far. I think his tyres will last. What about Leclerc? Will he stay out? Leclerc stays out. Antonelli, what about him? He goes round the final corner now. He stays out. Oh, missed Behrman. Behrman stays out. Gasly stays out. No, Gasly comes in. So Gasly's tyres haven't lasted. With 5 to go, he's in. Russell as well. George Russell in, your reigning world champion. He probably won't score this race. Hadjar stays out. Norris stays out. Of course, Tsunoda will stay out. Piastri, he stays out. Liam Lawson, he's, yeah, irrelevant. Doing in 5th place. Can he hold on and get 10 points? That'd be his joint best result of the season after the result in actually no, was he 5th or 4th in that race? In Argentina. In the race that barely anyone finished. Jack Doohan. He was 5th, okay. Of course, he had got that pole position point anyway. In this race, all that, like, the only chance Verstappen doesn't win this race, I think, is if his tyres don't last. But he pitted pretty recently. I think they should last. There'll be 4 to go when he crosses the line. Lap 60 of 63 now. Sainz comes in. He's a lap down. He's had a torrid race as per usual. Leclerc stays out again. Antonelli stays out. Behrman, let's see what he decides to do. He will stay out. Doohan will most likely stay out. We already know his plan for this race. Then we've got a 3-car battle for 6th. Norris, Tsunoda, and Hadjar. Tsunoda right outside. He tries on Hadjar, but gets pushed out a little bit wide. And now Norris will have DRS on Hadjar. Tsunoda still has DRS, but I don't think he'll do anything with it, considering he went wide through the final corner. Norris gets into 6th place. But Hadjar fights back. And now Tsunoda will send it down the inside, and his championship rivalry barges him past. And they're still side by side, but Tsunoda gets past both of them. And that's a great move and a very important move for the championship for Tsunoda, because as it stands, that's 4 extra points over Norris. And the gap was 4 points. As it stands, Tsunoda would move into the lead, or in front of Norris, I should say. But Hadjar immediately makes that not the case. But what is the case currently, forgetting all of that, Verstappen wins. He leads the championship going into his home Grand Prix at the end of the season. It'll be the first time since China or Australia that Norris won't lead the championship. I can't remember if he I know he won the Australian Grand Prix, but he was level on points with Behrman, and that means level on points. They were both 1st and 2nd, so that's why they were level. So I think he went under qualifying, maybe. I'm not too sure. Let's just say they were level. So technically he did lead it. Technically it's the first time. It'll be the first time if it stays like this since New Zealand, but he didn't lead the championship. Well, Behrman led it then. Behrman gets unlapped from Sainz. Verstappen still leads. Leclerc fighting Antonelli though for 2nd place. This could be interesting. Antonelli goes round the outside through turn 8 and 9, and he is going to get 2nd. So Antonelli with less than 3 laps to go now gets the move done. Doohan's not doing too badly, holding on to no, he goes wide. Doohan wide, his tyres are completely gone. And Tsunoda has been given a gift. Ignore all the clattering and clanging, by the way. These two, though, still fighting for 2nd place. Behrman, I don't see him counting up now. He's solidified 4th, I think, unless nothing happens in front. As Antonelli goes up the hill, a bit like Portsmouth this hill, apart from the fact he doesn't go back down until turn 5. But the up section is a bit like Portsmouth, of course, raced there in 2020 and 2021. Bit tired. Antonelli still in front of Leclerc though. About a lap and a half to go for race leader Verstappen. Russell, he needs to be careful, Russell. He won't score points in a minute. Which will be a big blow for any sort of outside championship chances he had. Of course, reigning world champion Leclerc though, all over the back of Antonelli with that. He hasn't got DRS though, he goes past him before the DRS zone. And he will get the DRS. Oh, will he? Yeah, he does have DRS, I think. Yeah, he did. So Leclerc back up to 2nd place. It's Verstappen. He rounds the final corner. Turn 16. And there'll be 1 lap to go, just over 5 kilometers left. He will see the white flag as the dominant race leader with the fastest lap as well. As Antonelli and Leclerc still fighting. Leclerc will get the move done, and he will have DRS. It will be Kimi Antonelli, but I think it's too little too late. The gap has got quite a bit bigger. No, neither of them have DRS. That's weird. It's Portier into the pits a lap down now. Tsunoda did get past Doohan. And here's a battle, Doohan and Norris. As Doohan pushes Norris very wide there through the final corner. And now they're side by side. I don't think Doohan will hold on though, especially with Norris having DRS. Let's see what happens. He'll try and slipstream him. Ooh, Doohan all over the place there. And nah, he's not going to send it down the inside. He thinks better of it. Doesn't want to get in the way of any sort of championship fight. Next up is Piastri for Doohan. Be interesting to see how that ends up. But Leclerc has got a huge gap over Antonelli now. Tsunoda versus Behrman could be a battle on this last lap. Ooh, could actually have DRS. Verstappen though, absolutely dominant here in Turkey. Lawson will be a lap down as well. But the man who won, not the last time he came into Turkey, but the time before that in 2021. Lawson rounds the final corner. He thinks better of it. He doesn't want to do the final lap. But Verstappen, he goes up the crest and crosses the line. He wins the Turkish Grand Prix to take the championship lead over Lando Norris. And it's the first time Verstappen has led a championship since he won it back in 2022. And it's been a torrid run of results recently in terms of the championship standings. Leclerc will end up second, Antonelli third. Tsunoda will get past Behrman in fourth. And Behrman will end up in fifth then. That means that Norris, who will cross the line in sixth place, will be level on points with Tsunoda for second. So he's been overtaken by both Red Bulls. Well, technically not, because Norris will lead on countback. He's had a lot more wins than Tsunoda, 3-1. Doohan will get 8th place. What a result from the Aussie. Hadjar gets 2 points in 9th. And your final point scorer will be Pierre Gasly in 10th. Russell missing out on points. That is huge for him. Albon will end up in 12th place. And then it'll be Bortoletto in 13th. Colapinto finishes in 21st. Your race winner last time out. That's a torrid end to the race. And then Malukas will be the last man to cross the line. It's not quite the win he got in Chicago. But I mean, it's not bad. Considering he hasn't won an IndyCar race still yet. He'll cross the line in 14th place. Misses second place in IndyCar. Not bad. Live from Little Dave. Anyway, let's go through your results then. Ocon, a lap down. Oh, there might have been a few laps down. Ocon, Colapinto, Joe, Vesti, Sainz, Portier, Crawford and Lawson. Then the other drivers not to score. Malukas, Bortoletto, Albon and George Russell. Your point scorers, Gasly, Hadjar, Doohan, remember got that pole point as well. Piastri, Norris, Behrman, Tsunoda, Antonelli, Leclerc and Max Verstappen, your race winner. Also the fastest lap point as well. He will take the championship lead. We'll go through some championship standings, or no positions kind of. We have got points. Verstappen will take the lead on 158. Level in second on 149 is Norris and Tsunoda. Norris in second, Tsunoda on third. The countback rules. Fourth will be Oliver Behrman on 139 points. That's a big 10 points he got there. And then fifth place will be Kimi Antonelli on 131. And that's everyone over 100 points. Actually, no, it's not. Colapinto as well on 119. Blowers, he already had 119 points. Then it's Gasly on 19 next up. Then I think it's it. Where's George Russell? 114, so I missed him. He's between Gasly and Colapinto. But, yeah, I mean, Verstappen, in the championships recently, 2023, 14th. 2024, he was 6th. 2025, he was 10th. So it's been a horrible run of seasons recently for Verstappen. Can he finally get his third World Championship? We will see. We'll be back in a month's time, of course, the summer break back for the first time since 2023. Mainly because the last 2 seasons I've been quite... Actually, did we have a summer break last year? I think we did. Yeah, we did. No, we didn't. Was it 2024 we had a summer break? Hang on. Yeah, 2024. I mean, 2024 was quite on and off. To be fair, there was a lot of breaks in that season. It's the first proper summer break since 2023. Your timings, if you do want them, for the Dutch Grand Prix, I know it's a while away. Not the usual European timings, as I've already mentioned, it's a night race on the 23rd of August, qualifying on the 22nd, 9 p.m. UK time, 10 p.m. local time, and then Grand Prix lights out 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. local time. So we will see you then. Goodbye.